we have these weaknesses, but once we identify them and like once we give them up and once we admit it to ourselves that they exist, that's when the strength comes in, because then that's when the transformation comes in. All right, so on today's menu, protein pancakes. Basically just mixed 2 scoops of protein into just regular pancake mix. Just to add some protein to the diet. And yeah, it's not always just like straightforward, you know, it's like you can only eat this one food group, right? Obviously, most of the time it's just sticking within kind of the calories. And if you aren't exactly sure on how many calories this thing has, then portion control, right? Like I could probably eat all of them. There's only 7 there. I could eat all 7, but realistically, I'm only going to have 2. Then we're going to hit the gym. Obviously, I'm going to have some coffee before, load up, and then hit the gym. After the gym, probably just going to have a protein shake, and then bring some chili that I made yesterday, bring that to work. Yeah, my diet has changed in the sense that my body likes the 210 pound range. It's quite happy here. Losing more is going to be like significantly more difficult. I'm trying to add in more exercise, and yeah, with the added exercise, just build like cut more, kind of burn more calories. All right, that out of the way. Pancakes are done. So yeah, protein, couple scoops of vanilla protein, just regular pancake mix. Coffee. We're going to hit the gym after this, so we're going to fuel up on caffeine. For anyone asking what I put in my coffee, I put in just almond milk. This is just the original. It's like 60 calories per cup, so it's pretty good. Just give that coffee a hint of something different. My wife will put in a little bit of the Starbucks caramel macchiato. But yeah, this is kind of like a quasi-typical, semi-typical morning for us when you're working nights, yeah, or have the day off, and I'm working evenings. Mm-hmm. Sit down, have breakfast, do our devotions. This is just kind of straightforward, easy to do every day, our daily bread devotion, because at the end of the day, it's not just food that we need. So this passage comes from Matthew 4, 1-4. And the tempter came and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become loaves of bread." And so this is when Jesus has been fasting for a while, so he's hungry. But then Jesus responds, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God." So when you're getting your calories in, remember to do something for your mind too. Whether you're a believer and you want to do your devotions, and if you're not, you know what, incorporate some like quiet music or something just to like relax your mind and get you kind of meditating on what is good. Gratitude always works to get yourself prepped for the day. But yeah, we're gonna fuel up on coffee, have our pancakes, and then hit the gym. See you later. Wait, did you try them already?
No.
No? They're good. I did a good job.
Good job.
Alrighty. Back from the gym. Half decent pump. Anyways, it's gonna refuel with some protein powder. This is the protein powder that I get it from Popeyes. It's pretty decent though in terms of the macros here. Got, for one scoop, is 140 calories with 25 grams protein. At some point, guys, we're gonna find that it's like you just can't get enough protein from like natural protein sources like tuna or, you know, meat, whatever, just because when you're cutting calories to like the significant level that I am at this point, like the only way you're going to get like clean, you know, like sources of protein without like the excessive carbohydrates or fat that come along with it, you'll have to go to supplementation. So that's why I go to protein powder. So I got my pink cup here, just because I'm very secure in my masculinity, and I am Knuff. But I'm gonna do two scoops of protein. Just add some water to it, and then gonna do some weeding outside. Like the weeds are just overgrown, so it's like time to pluck them. But yeah, talk to you guys later. All right, so I figured I'm gonna start a new series. We're gonna call it Becoming Your Best Self. And the first episode for this, or chapter, whatever you want to call it, when you first start this weight loss journey, what kind of kicks it off, right? Like what makes you kind of just wake up one day and realize it's like enough's enough? I'm trying to think what it was for me, because we went hiking in Utah in September, and I didn't start, you know, losing the weight till December, but September was a big kind of wake up call in the sense that, you know what, like I can't hike these mountains. I just can't do it. You know, not the way I wanted to anyways. But yeah, the first step to really becoming your best self is admitting to yourself that you have a problem, right? Because that's kind of where it starts. It's like you have to realize that you have a problem. And, you know, I think like we all know, right? It's like if you're obese, you know you have a problem. You know, it's like, you know, you're fat, and it's like from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, you know this. Like this is not kind of, you know, it's like a come to Jesus moment realization. It's, you understand that. But what I mean, admitting that you have a problem is, if you haven't started your weight loss journey yet, it means that you are living with the problem but not doing anything about it. But then in your head, you're able to rationalize it, right? It's like you're able to find these justifications. Oh, well, it's like I'm not bedridden yet. You know, I can still move around fine. I can still, you know, exercise, quote unquote. I can still do all these things, like have fun, whatever, and so what? Like I like my chips and I like my pizza and my ice cream. It's not an issue. But that is how we justify it to ourselves, right? It's like at least the fire department doesn't have to cut us out of our house. And I remember back to grade 12, because in grade 12, I don't think I was probably 300 pounds already, or just on the verge.
And I remember someone saying, it's like, yeah, you know what? It's like once someone becomes 300 pounds, like then I'd start having a conversation with them to like kind of say, you know, maybe you've got to change something, right? But the problem is if we keep pushing it back, right, your journey is just going to get harder and harder and harder, like the further you push it back. So I think the initial process isn't just realizing that we have a problem, but then being able to be honest with ourselves and just say, it's like, yeah, I have a problem. I haven't been doing anything about it, but it's about time that I do, because the longer I push it off, the harder it's going to get. I was reading this passage in 2 Corinthians 12, 9 to 10. And kind of my prelude to reading this is going to be that we do not, I think we get enough judgment from the world around us. And when I say we, I mean obese people. Get enough judgment from the world around us. You know, it's like we don't fit the clothes that everyone does. We don't look the way that everyone does. You know what? We're not as active as everyone is. We're not this, we're not that, we're not that. We get enough judgment from the people around us. And so in an effort to kind of shield ourselves from this judgment, we use food as a coping mechanism, but not only that. We protect our ego, you know, it's like our sense of, like what little self-worth, what little, you know, self-esteem I have left, I'm going to protect that, you know, and part of that is, yeah, coming up with excuses as to, you know, it's not that bad. If I wanted to do it, I could do it. And so in an effort to kind of protect ourselves, I think we lie to ourselves. And like, I know I did that for myself. I was like, you know what? I still have clothes to wear. I can still move around. I can still have fun. I can still kind of do everything. But I knew I was fat. I knew I was unhealthy. But then eventually it was just enough was enough, and I had to be honest with myself. And part of being honest with yourself is, you know, identifying the weaknesses that you have in your life that got you to that point. You know, being humble with yourself, not taking the pride route of, it's like, no, I'm fine, I don't have an issue. No, really humbling yourself to yourself and just say, it's okay. It's okay that I have a problem. It's okay that I have this problem, but I can do it. Like, I can work on it. And then that's where the self-reflection comes in, right? That's when the self-analysis comes in. It's like, what are the weaknesses in my life that I have to address? And so this is the Bible verse. And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. And so, for me, this verse is, it just means that, yeah, it's like we have these weaknesses, but once we identify them, and like once we give them up, and once we admit it to ourselves that they exist, that's when the strength comes in. Because then that's when the transformation comes in. Right? Because if you keep telling yourself it's fine and I'm just going to do it later, transformation is not going to start. You know, your journey is not going to start. But it's only in your weakness. It's only in admitting that, yeah, I have a problem with, I'm addicted to food. I eat when I'm bored. I eat too much. I, binge, whatever. But it's only once you identify those things that you can then change, right? And then in that weakness become strong. So that's kind of wraps up the first part of this, becoming your best version, is just identifying your weaknesses. Humble yourself. Admit that you have a problem. Understand that the only person who can fix that problem is you. And if you want to do that, then A, keep watching my videos, but B, there will never be a perfect time. You will never have all the information. You can buy whatever equipment you want. You can buy whatever gym membership you want. You will never be perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect, but the point is that you have to start somewhere. And why not start today? Because if you wait, and you're doing the same thing that you've been doing that got you to this weight, chances are, by the time you start, you're going to be 10, 20, 30 pounds heavier. And it's just going to be that much longer, and it's just going to be that much harder. Identify your weaknesses, and in your weaknesses, turn those into strengths and shed the weight. Yeah, that's my wrap up. Next week, I'm going to be in LA. We're going to California. I'm going to go hiking and hit up Disney. I'll film some stuff there, but I won't be releasing a video next week. So you'll have to wait till the week after. But yeah, I really want to encourage you guys. Be humble. Be humble. Let go of whatever pride you have. When you humble yourself, that's when you make progress. And really, that's with anything, right? I was okay. I'll keep going just a little bit longer, but I was listening to this talk where this guy was saying, it's like, what's the opposite of love? And people think hate. People think that hate is the opposite of love. But he was saying it's actually pride. It's pride that is the opposite of love. Right? And when we have too much pride, and when we don't approach a relationship, in a humble manner, then how will we ever be able to have a conversation with our person? Right? If we already have the answers. How are we ever going to be able to love the person the way that person wants to be loved if we don't first, humble ourselves and it's like, understand, it's like, no, I can't read your mind. And I want to love you the best I can. Teach me how. Right? And it's the same thing with weight loss. It's like, you've been fat, you've been obese, you've gone to 300 plus pounds, not because you did all the right things, right? Not because you have it all together, not because you're the picture of health. There has to be a humbling of yourself in order to then make a real decision to change. And that is where this journey starts to becoming the best version of yourself. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. I'm done. That's it. But like I say, guys, I'm special. You're special. I've shown you I can do it. I've told you guys about my weaknesses. I've humbled myself plenty in front of you guys. And I continue to humble myself in all aspects of my life. But if I can do it, so can you. I believe in you guys, I really do. And thanks for all the comments that you guys leave. I read every single one of them and reply. It means a lot to me that you guys are following along. And yeah, let's do this together. I don't do this just for myself. You know, I want you guys along for the ride. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye.